Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a videocast and podcast from univrm.com. Today is one of our Science Current Events articles titled Cloning and EUFI for Extra Uterine Fetal Incubator. In 2001, Dolly, the world's first cloned sheep at the Roslin Institute near Edinburgh, Scotland, made world headlines with the announcement of her successful birth and growth to adulthood. A continuation of the experiment since then achieved one of the most spectacular advancements at Edinburgh Center for Regenerative Medicine, where scientists have continued to develop the technology used to make Dolly. In a series of remarkable experiments, they have created brain tissue from patients suffering from schizophrenia, bipolar depression, and other mental illnesses. Science Current Events show some of the breakthroughs they continue to create. From a scrap of skin taken from a patient, they can make neurons genetically identical to those in that person's brain. These brain cells, grown in the laboratory, then studied to reveal the neurological secrets of their condition. Professor Charles French Constant, the center's director. Professor Constant, the center's director, stated, "We can take a skin sample, make stem cells from it, and then direct these stem cells to grow into brain cells. Essentially, we are tuning a person's skin cells into brain cells. We are making cells that were previously inaccessible, and we could do that in future for the liver, the heart, and other organs on which it is very difficult to carry out biopsies." This holds great promise for Science Current Events in a process allegedly not yet perfected called EUFI for Extra Uterine Fetal Incubator. This allows the growing of an embryo or fetus outside the body of a female organism that normally internally carry the embryo or fetus to term. Combined with the proven cloning of a mammal, Dolly the sheep, it is not too far in future to see human cloning viable. Human cloning, combined with a EUFI and potential DNA manipulation to eliminate bad genes, like inherited diseases or conditions, and even selective reprogramming of existing genes, height, eye color, etc., a spectacular potential breakthrough in Science Current Events. Setting aside the religious, political, and moral debate, the fact we could grow clones of ourselves for anything from spare parts to potentially replacing the brain from aged bodies into virtually identical younger clones, fascinating. Combining this with recent research on spurring cell regeneration to levels normally associated with young people, a path to extremely long lives with a secondary benefit of greatly reducing health costs associated with aging. Recently, there was an article here on politics and religion used to control humankind through machinations and propaganda. The ability to potentially live forever possible through continuing breakthroughs in Science Current Events moving ahead faster than previously thought possible. Using the original cells from one's body eliminates part of the current issue of creating copies of copies of copies and cellular degradation of same, which one can imagine like copying a document from its first version to, for example, the 100th version, where there is a loss in document quality. Some people may not want to live forever or have aging effectively halted at a peak biological point. The additional issue of designing children also opened up through this method, especially as the human genome better understood. Despite the gnashing of teeth of Luddites at any advancement in Science Current Events, we are in the category of living forever as young, healthy beings with lifespans allowing everything from interstellar travel to indefinite learning and exploring. An evolutionary bonus, through Science Current Events, a method opened for those with extreme religious, political, and moral objections to human advancement, replaced by those without extremist views. Copyright 2012, univrm.com, trademarked, all rights reserved. As an advertisement, please remember univrm.com offering our science fiction book series, Change Hope, released as a series, on a chapter and book-by-book basis like the old Amazing Stories magazine. Change Hope available in all ebook formats and as an audiobook. You can purchase by going to www.univrm.com/downloads/. You can listen to this article via podcast at the iTunes Store or by subscribing to univrm.com or read it on Facebook at the univrm.com channel. You can also listen or subscribe to our articles via videocast or podcast on YouTube on the UNIVRM channel. This has been a videocast and podcast by univrm.com, and we look forward to bringing you more articles in future.